Greetings. This is Amara Cam back. And you know, after I watched that Symbology I video, I realized that all that information regarding the brain and the glands and stuff like that, I never gave you the story of how I learned all that. Let me start at the beginning. When I hit 20 years old, I decided I want to learn to use 100% of my brain. By the time I got to 30, I built my magnetic helmet, right? You see all those rare earth magnets inside of there, right? So, after I developed this magnetic helmet, and I spent, basically when I hit 30, I changed my lifestyle. I went from being an athlete, lifting weights. I played football my whole life. I played semi-pro football. I lifted weights, eating 4, 5, 6 meals a day, to a diet of no meat, no mucusless products, foods that create mucus in your body. Meditated 3 to 4 hours a day. And by the end of 1993, I had developed this helmet and started my lifestyle change, routinely doing 3-day fast, 7-day fast, and learning to breathe and elevate my cellular vibratory rate and into my chakras. By that time, I started sun gazing, using crystals in the sun to elevate my consciousness, bring my chakras to physical, where I could physically feel my chakras. And what began to happen was the pressure built up in my head. And the pressure built up in my head without me knowing exactly what was going on. It was years later before I realized anatomically what was going on inside my brain. So by the time I got to 1995, we was in Massachusetts, and me and my wife went to a psychic fair. And we were the only people of color at the psychic fair. And we went and we both took aura photos. And when we took the aura photo, the lady who was taking the photos, she literally freaked out. I was like, well, what do you see that I don't? She said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So we're going to show you this aura photo and what she described to me, okay? Now, this is an aura photo that I took in 1995. And before we took the photo, she had some examples out front. And before we went in, I didn't look at the examples. But after she described to me what she described, I went and looked at the examples. Now, the examples were people that she had out front were of Caucasians. And in the examples, what you saw was this ring right here of the aura was all that you saw on the Caucasians. Me and my wife had this ring up here. Okay? So we know that when we deal with the external chakras, we have one that's 1.5 feet above your head. And then there's also one that's 3 feet above your head. So obviously this ring up here, and you need to go on the internet and look under aura photos, and I did that, and you see very few Caucasians with this ring up here. We need to understand that they are high energy beings and low energy beings, okay? So now, also, we focus in on this. This really freaked her out. You see these beams of energy coming through in my head? My wife didn't have this. This is the evidence of me starting using those magnets and those crystals and meditating, sun gazing, all the hours of meditation, and how it rose my frequency rate. This, when you see these streams of energy coming in my head, this is in 95 now. So, with all this energy that was coming in, the pressure in my head had already begun to build. And when she was breaking down what she was seeing, okay, first let's look at the color green. Now we know the color green deals with the heart chakra, which is love energy. The purple here deals with the first eye, or the brown chakra, which represents spiritual intuition. So basically she said this side represents the energy coming in, and this side represents the energy going out. When she saw this thickness of how thick this energy is right in here, she really freaked. She said, oh my God, you have a ton of energy. She said it looks like angelic energy coming into your aura in the future. So when I tell you the energy in my head is phenomenal, it's phenomenal. All right? So, and also these beams. You see these energy beams? Now this is in 95. So I can guarantee you now, here we are, almost 20 years later, this is amplified. This has been magnified. Okay? So this is how I knew, how I experienced this pressure and the mystical marriage, the Holy Trinity that was going on inside my brain. I was doing the work, raising the energy up, but yet I was not conscious of the anatomical processes that was going on inside my brain. It was years later before I learned about the mystical marriage, the union of the pineal, pituitary, and thalamus glands, and then about the optical thalamus glands. So, this is how I know, right? And now you need to understand this has been amplified even more, all right? So, this is the first installment, Symbology I. And what we're going to do is we're going to take symbols that we see in our environment that have meanings that have been watered down through time, and we're going to go and try to give you the more ancient meaning of these symbols. Now we need to understand that symbols are metaphysical. They deal with consciousness. So whatever level of consciousness the symbol is being perceived at, what you perceive is true. So what I'm trying to say is one symbol may have infinite meanings. It depends upon your level of consciousness. Okay? So, if you like it, hit the like button. You subscribe, hit the subscribe button. Like I say, we're going to be dropping more jewels on you. And peace to the revolution. Because the revolution is all about what? Evolution.